the way I roll. They loving the way I roll. They loving the way I
They don't stop, bro.
roll.
Hey, but we in the mix, and you know what does stop? These Rockets.
The Rockets.
Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it, broski.
I'm glad you took us there because the Rockets have officially stopped. Rocket season is over. Some of our predictions was right. Some of our predictions was wrong. But today,
Yeah.
the first thing I want to start off with is what did we expect in this season? Do you remember what our expectations for the season were?
Yeah. I think we had us over 55 wins for sure. I know that for sure. And I think we finished with 52. So that's the start, and that's how I think this video is probably gonna go.
Close.
It's just right there, bro.
But just short.
I don't know if we made those predictions before or after Fred VanVleet got hurt. I want to say it was before. I don't know. We'll pull up the video, but whatever. Because the Fred VanVleet thing is a problem. But I mean, you're in agreement. We know where.
You know where I stand.
We saw the Rockets. Yeah, we know where we saw the Rockets. We know what we saw what we thought they were going to be. I don't know, bro. I think that I don't know. I feel like it kind of not isolated, but it brought some stuff to light on like the weaknesses of our team.
Yeah, but before we you got to remember the Houston fans are already down because we just got eliminated from the playoffs, right? So so before we talk about that, you got to acknowledge that it also brought out some things that we saw that are good. You know for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
You know for sure Amen Thompson is going to be that guy. You know for sure you were right to draft Reed Shepherd number 3 overall, and he's going to work out in the long run. And that seems this season kind of exposed that stuff too. There's a lot of bad we're going to be able to talk about, but remember that.
Let's talk about the good.
Remember that they checked that box that sent them to the playoffs again, even with the injury. So that worked right there. The young Rockets, we kind of watched them grow up between last year and this year. And so Jabari Smith Jr. has turned into a hell of a player. I'm still right there with it. Like, I don't know that he or Şengün may need to be traded for us to reach that next level for better players. But
I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, bro. I feel like Şengün was an imposter, bro. That's what I feel like, man. I feel like if we could have got off Şengün instead of Jalen Green, and I know you probably about to be like, what?
Bruh.
But if we could...
I know you ain't saying that, bro. I know you ain't let that come out.
That boy backtracking. I don't know, man. Bro.
I've been trying to wait to see what Jalen Green look like next season in the playoffs and whatnot before I start coming for y'all next about what I said about trading for Kevin Durant if it cost him. But
hey, or something happening with KD, because that's something that I've been thinking about too. Him saying Deuce, he's already talking trash on Twitter about the team. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
was that ever confirmed?
They say, yeah, you're right. Was it confirmed?
It came out the Rockets looked like they were eventually able to let it go and kept playing as a team. I mean, we had a KD game winner against Phoenix after that happened, and there was so much camaraderie. So we kind of off topic. Yeah. You wanted to go into what this season exposed. Tell me about that.
I think it exposed, like you said, a lot of good stuff, but I think it also exposed Şengün, bro. I really feel like he got exposed.
I heard the term one-trick pony online when referring to Şengün, and I wanted to disagree so bad, but all it is a turnaround hook shot, spin around hook shot.
Or it's a turnover. Some of his passes were just out of control. I feel like and this is what I've been thinking. I'm gonna take one out your book. He's young. He don't look young, but he's a young player. He still got some growing to do. I think that could be a problem. But bro, some of the stuff he did, I was just like, bro. We also don't really have an offensive presence.
No,
we don't have
I want to stay on him. I want to stay on him because I was ready to be just as harsh as you in my critique of Şengün because of how I was feeling at the end of that playoff series. But then I was reminded when you watch the film, the one thing that you got to commend about Şengün is none of it at all is a lack of will and effort. And I think coming from a coach's perspective, I kind of think I can work with that. You know what I'm saying? Since we here now, since we did trade Jalen Green instead of Şengün, and we here now, dude, are we sure we ready to, like, if we could get an upgrade, I'm not opposed to getting an upgrade, but long term, Şengün might be the guy. And like, I know it's a lot more to say on that topic, but I know it's a lot of Houston fans that's down because we lost the way we did. But when you think about it, second time in the playoffs, we lose in the first round again to the Lakers. Several teams that have won championships had to keep knocking at the door before they broke in. And they had young players that did it for like 3 or 4 years before they were highly effective in those high leverage playoff games. And so when you think about it, I mean, we could talk about the Celtics, who knocked on the door several years and then eventually got there. And these guys weren't just trading everybody at the end of, when they got eliminated. And then you got, I feel like Denver got to that point. They knocked on the door a few times and then eventually broke through. You got, the Cavaliers. Well, I guess with LeBron there. But early in his career, early in his career, you had no idea he was going to be King James. You had just LeBron James, and he knocked on the door a few times, and it took a while for them to break through. And I just think, like, I think we need to stop. We need to be more hesitant before we start hitting that kill switch on a very young team. Now, what we might not need to hesitate is what we do about KD. I
don't know, bro. That's a real good question. I think they're gonna probably try to keep the team. I mean, we still got pretty much we chilling until next year at least. We still got the next year. I think Fred VanVleet's still on the contract. KD signed an extension, so he's on the contract. Şengün's probably straight. I'm in straight. Reed straight. I don't really know what else you do. No, those are really the key pieces. Everybody else you can. I mean, sorry, Tari. I love Tari Eason. I love Jabari. Jabari, I think there was a couple spots in was it the last or the second to last game where he was shoot that hole, you know what I'm saying? Hey bro, I feel like he came out with a chip on his shoulder, and I want to see like he looked aggressive, bro.
I like to see that too because he ain't always been that kind of player. But he noticed the biggest problem that we had down the stretch in these playoffs, we just couldn't get buckets. We couldn't get buckets. And the defense was good in stretches. The defense wasn't so good in stretches, but the defense was good enough to where if we was getting buckets on the other end of the floor, the defense would have been able to hold up. Jabari Smith Jr. saw that in the last 2 games, and he just started shooting. He started getting aggressive. And he's not the superstar player that Kevin Durant is or the superstar scorer that Jalen Green was, but, he at least attempted to do so. I can work with that too, but I think right now you need to decide one of the young guys does have to go for an upgrade. I just don't think you do that in the middle of you don't do that in the offseason. Because I'm in agreement with you. You can go into next season with VanVleet, with Steven Adams, with KD, run it back and fully and have the right expectations that you are already a better team without making no moves.
Yeah. I think that's what we might as well go ahead and go there. I think that's what Raphael Stone was talking about. Time out. The press conference that I sent you though, where homie was trying to explain why they didn't get a point guard, had me crying, bro. It's like he even knew he knew he wasn't being real about it. He knew we needed a point guard. Now he is right about us having Fred, and I think him moving a big point guard in would create maybe like not turmoil, but it'd be like, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Where I'm at. But
I don't like the idea of wasting years. Fred VanVleet was not gonna play for us this season, and he knew it. I don't like wasting years. You went and traded for a 37-year-old player. So even if he feel that way, I don't like wasting that year. Are we expecting KD to be better at 38 than he was at 37? I think when you start hitting those late 40s, you can't help it. Father Time is undefeated. You eventually are not as good as you were when you were just a little bit younger. So I don't like the idea of if that's how you feel. I feel like he wasted a season. And I don't like that.
So that's
I think you go get a guy for this year, and either he's going to be better than Fred VanVleet is for the team, or he's going to be almost as good, not as good, or it just fails because he don't fit in. But you got to do something, because we went down the stretch with too many turnovers at the end of these games. That screams you need a point guard making decisions at the time of the game where it matters. So I can't stand sitting here thinking about Raphael Stone feeling like it was all good. We got VanVleet. Even though he ain't playing this year, we gonna play next year. Like, come on, stop.
I mean,
it,
I think Ime kind of rode with it too, though. If you want to be honest, I think he probably rode a little bit with that consensus too, that
possibly
Almond could be the guy, and Almond could bring. Because in stretches, I think Almond can actually make the right moves. I just think he's better at being off ball and being a slasher or somebody that, you know what I'm saying, that can get to the bucket.
Yeah, I like him.
A J.R. Smith type, but with no shot. Because, bro, when homie catch the ball on the wing, bro, I'm like, they be in this. They're in the free throw line, bro. They're just like, let's see what's up.
Well,
and I feel like he got to correct that. He got to get that better too.
I think he will. I think he will, but I also think that, like, I'm thinking that he's a decent decision maker. I just don't like him having to make those decisions late in the game. I didn't like Reed Shepherd much having to make them decisions late in the game either. I'm with it. It is what it is. At the end of the day, it's still Rockets. I think you don't have to do much to go into next season with a better team. But the first 20, 25 games are an evaluation. So you need to roster moves need to be made then. Oh God.